In today's video, I'll be answering the following questions for my 10-year anniversary of the creation of Arcadia Cwinn, the main character from my books. But before we get into that, I just want to share the evolution of how Arcadia came to be. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In 2016, little me was bored with drawing the same fictional characters from YouTube tutorials over and over and over again. And not just characters, but other things too. So I decided to get creative about it, leading me to create my very first original character, Isabel. Yes, not Arcadia, but Isabel. So, who is Isabel before Arcadia? Well, you're not going to believe this, but she was a princess. A pretty princess dressed in pink and blue, and I, as a kid who was still learning to draw the second eye identically, covered Isabel's other eye with her hair. Now, I'm sure we've all done this before, right? Anyway, yes, she was a princess with absolutely no lore. Like, this princess had no backstories or anything. I really only drew her out of my imagination because I thought that would bring other ideas to me. And little did I know that it would all backfire. In a good way. You see, after drawing this certain character over and over again, I knew it was time to actually do something about her. I had to make her into someone bigger. So, I gave her a lore. But it was more of a children's book. A typical princess who lived in her castle and could talk to animals. That sort of story. And for a few years, I had stuck with that ever since. And over time, I had changed her name to Annabelle. From where? I honestly forgot. Until, in 2017, I had played Minecraft for the very first time. And during that time, I was having a hard time picking out a skin for my avatar. But eventually, I found one that I really liked. But not because of the looks, but because of the name, Soulstar. If you know, you know. I'm not sure why I liked the name, but I'm pretty sure it was because the word star that made me go, oh, I love this. During 2017 through 2019, I stuck with that name and a new look, making Soulstar into an ultimate gamer. And that's where these Minecraft videos had my inspirations for more epic stories for my characters. From seeing YouTubers making their own stories in their own Minecraft worlds, whether it was the challenges or the actual story modes that had got me going, to finally making a firm structure for my story. That's when, in 2022, I decided to finally write that draft for my story. And once again, I changed Stardust's appearance and changed her name to Arcadia and Stardust Cwinn. Don't worry, there's a reason behind that long name. But as you can see, I kept the name Stardust and shortened the version of Annabelle. Now here I am with a story waiting to be told, the fantasy I had imagined for many years, and it all started with one boring day. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into those questions. I'm also going to try my best not to spoil anything, but at the same time, there will be spoilers ahead. But if you guys want more updates and artwork done by me, head over to my Instagram link on my page. And now for the first question. What is your favorite chapter you've written? Chapter 20 was definitely my favorite one, but I also like chapter 23 as well. We get to experience the emotional tension between these two characters, Arcadia and Oblivion. What is your favorite line? This was also in chapter 20, when Arcadia tells Oblivion, "Then promise me you'll make it too, the two of us, and promise me that you'll let me keep mine." That scene is where the two of them were pretty much promising each other to stay alive for one another. What character do you relate to the most? I for sure relate to a couple of characters, but the one I relate to the most is Butterfly, who is a pretty important side character. Which character was the most difficult to write? Lady Zephyr Salazar, the mother of both Oblivion and Evangeline. The reason why she was the most difficult was that she wasn't supposed to happen at all. But here she is, and now I have a whole nother backstory to think about. Do you have any elements/scenes that didn't make the final cut? If so, what was your favorite deleted scene? There were a lot of scenes that I had cut off. One of them happens to be the time era where instead of the story starting with 14 years old Arcadia, it was going to start with 6-year-old. It was going to start with 6 years old Arcadia. I know, crazy jump. But if you want to know more about my deleted scenes, I'll actually be writing them at the end of my book. What inspired your story? A lot of books, films, and shows have inspired me. The one that had inspired me most were Percy Jackson, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Wayne Feather Saga, and Renegades. Which character do you think will become a fan favorite? I have hopes that both Oblivion and Evangeline Salazar will be a fan favorites. The two siblings start from their rock bottom, then throughout my trilogy, they build themselves up into people they didn't think would become. Not only that, their trope happens to be the calm older brother and the chaotic little sister, which I think fans are going to enjoy their interactions. Do you have a favorite scene/moment that you wrote? There were a lot of emotional moments I had enjoyed, but my favorite one would be when Arcadia received that wake-up call for ignoring her true occupation. But as I said, I'm not going to spoil too many details. What kind of technology is present in the lore? Honestly, a lot of mixed of aesthetics, such as high technology like cyber equipment or even steampunk. Do you have a favorite drawing of your characters or a scene? I really love this one of Raj, the Angel of Animals, and you guys seem to have loved him as well. Designing him was something I didn't think would come out, especially for him, a shapeshifter born armless, but with feathered wings. Who do you think will be the most hated character? Definitely the villain Hadian, but I do have others, but as I said, I don't want to spoil too much, but I will give you guys a name. Bane Chamberlain. If your book had a theme song, what would it be? There are a lot of songs I had picked out to be part of my books, but I'll let you guys decide on that. There also happens to be a playlist on the back of my book, so watch out for that. What inspired your villain? Satan. My books are Christian fiction, so that makes my villain Satan in my story. What's a completely random piece of fun lore? I have had a lot of strange animals appear in my mind. Like, I have flying whales, giants, trolls, giant bugs, the peaceful kind, and elves that act like oversized termites, and poisonous purple rats. What are some of your characters' favorite comfort foods? I feel like they wouldn't have a specific one, mainly because they would eat anything, but I would have to go with dirty sodas. Multiple flavors of sodas and ice cream. How many characters do you have? I have over 100 and have lost count ever since, but I'm sure I've gotten over the 100 number. Out of all your characters, which one do you dislike the most? Again with this name, Bane Chamberlain. And I even hate myself for even coming up with this character. But here we are. Who is your favorite character? Oblivion Salazar, the sweetest of hearts. And I think you guys would fall in love with him too. And that is the last question for my 10-year anniversary. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I am very grateful to those who have been here with me since day one of my progress online. Even though some of us had just met, you guys mean so much to me. And I'm also amazingly grateful for Jesus Christ for being with me throughout the tough challenges that had been laid before me. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm more active on Instagram, so you can definitely check out my page on my channel. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.